Well, we have many fun people here on First Coast Living, but yes, this one I got to admit I'm a little extra excited about because we've got Mitch Albom. And Mitch, your book, The Stranger in the Lifeboat, Mitch Albom, I tell you what, this is hard to put down because we have, I don't want to give it away. I'm not good with secrets. So first of all, thanks. Welcome to the show. And tell us more about your book.
Well, it starts out very dramatically. There's a luxury yacht that has a lot of rich people on it who are celebrating, people from all over the world. And suddenly there's this mysterious explosion. The boat is destroyed. Everybody is killed except 10 people, half of whom are some of the rich guests and half of whom are the staff. And they manage to get to this life raft. And for 3 days, they're floating out in the water. Nobody comes for them. Nobody helps them. They're running out of food, running out of water. There's sharks in the ocean. They're crying out for help. And suddenly they see this body bobbing in the waves, and they pull it into the boat, and it's this young guy who's kind of nondescript, average looking, and they pepper him with questions. He doesn't say anything. And finally, one of the passengers says, "Well, thank the Lord we found you." And he says, "I am the Lord." Ooh. And that's the setup for the book.
Okay. What inspired this story? I know we've just gotten through the pandemic. Did that have anything to do with it? A kind of a cry for help? We're all in need of our little lifeboat, so to speak, in this time?
I mean, that was part of it. You know, a lot of people have been crying out for help for, people who loved ones, or people who are sick, they lost their job, whatever it is. And I wanted to explore the idea of, well, what if help comes, but it doesn't look like, sound like, or come at the time when we expect it? Are we still willing to see that it's help? And I've had many things happen in my life, I'm sure you have, Mike, where at the time they were bad and you said, no, I don't want this to happen. It still happened anyhow. And you said, well, I guess my prayers weren't answered. And then 10 years later, you look back and you say, actually, if that hadn't happened, this wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have met this person, and then I married them, and and that was the best thing that could have happened to me. Well, then maybe your prayers were actually answered. It just didn't happen at the moment or in the way that you expected.
Right, yeah, very well put. So having that faith, even in the toughest times, definitely a theme. So when you're writing books like this, I mean, you've already had 7 New York Times bestsellers. Do you have a favorite room you write in, or what time of day is your best time that you like writing?
I wake up first thing in the morning, go right downstairs and start writing. I don't look at anything else. I don't read anything. I don't turn on any music. I have a clear head. I write for about 3 hours, and that's about all I have. I don't have any more gas in the tank. I don't try to stay there all day because nothing would happen. And then I get up the next morning and do it all over again. But I do it every day. It's not like I don't wait for inspiration. It's a job, and that's how I approach it.
And where do you get you have some amazing ideas in how you put all these things and connect things in life together. Do you take walks on the beach or do something special with nature? Do you look at the stars at night?
I mean, I can be any of that, but mostly I take an idea rather than a plot. I take an idea. So for example, you may know that the last book I wrote was called Finding Chica. It was a true story about a little girl that we adopted from the orphanage in Haiti that we operate. I'm there every month for the last 12 years, and we have 53 kids, but one of them was a 5-year-old girl named Chica, and we adopted her when she developed a brain tumor. And we traveled around the world for 2 years trying to find a cure, and we had an amazing 2 years as a family, but she died. And I had a lot of anger at the universe, and anger at God or whatever's out there. How could you not be kind enough to save a 7-year-old girl? And so I end up working that into this book where one of the characters actually says to this God character, why did you take, in this case it was his wife, why did you take the woman I loved? Why did you take her? Why did you let her die? And the God character says, well, I know that you cry when you lose your loved ones here on earth, but I can assure you they're not crying. And, wow. For me, that was comfort, because while I cry for Chica, our little girl, every day, if she's not crying, if she's someplace better, then that is a comfort to me. And I wanted to sort of share that in the mouths of the characters in this book. They get to ask God all these questions that, I want to ask him, or if he sat down with you, Mike, instead of me in this chair, you'd be asking him too.
Wow, very powerful for sure. So I really appreciate you. It's called Stranger in the Lifeboat, Mitch Albom. And one last thing, we're getting close to Thanksgiving. Do you call it dressing or stuffing on the turkey?
Oh, stuffing.
Stuffing.
Dressing.
All right, I'm a stuffing guy myself.
Dressing is for salad. Stuffing is for a turkey.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up. There's a big debate down here in the South. So stuffing.
Well, not where I live in Detroit.
Okay, buddy. Thanks for being on our show. And of course, for another look at this segment, head to firstcoastliving.net later today.